Hi, this is the Mox from the Barn, and this is our exclusive interview with the Tiger King himself, Joe Exotic. For this interview, we had to jump through a lot of hoops, and as you can imagine, the Department of Corrections has many stipulations as far as video interviews and things of that nature. So you will see Joe on video, and you will also hear the audio from myself and Tippy from the Tippy Joe Show, Justin from Pop Punk Pizza Party Podcast, and Dale from the Vulgar Display of Podcast. Now, with that said, we're just going to jump right into our conversation with the Tiger King himself, Mr. Joe Exotic.
Tell all the hunters to lay down their guns. Tell them that the tiger needs a little bit of love. Let them run the jungle, let them roam their land. Then stand back and marvel, what a beautiful cat. 'Cause I saw a tiger, now I understand. Well, I saw a tiger, and the tiger saw a man. I can give him a home, safe and warm. But the law
Speaking of food, Joe, it's Dale here. I had a question. I've seen shows and heard rumors about that there's some good meals that could be made in prison. What is your personal favorite meal? Like with the burritos with the summer dogs, you know, or is it like a chicken breast, like some wraps, some nachos, and the old famous pizzas?
It depends on what you can buy that's stolen from the kitchen, you know?
Yeah, true.
My favorite is to take orange Kool-Aid and the sweet Asian sauce that they sell on the commissary, and you make like an orange chicken with rice and chicken breast. Yeah.
Very good choice. Very good choice. I was just curious.
Yeah.
That actually sounds pretty decent, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It really, I cook. I run a soup kitchen in prisons, and I feed probably 11 to 15 people a day. Yeah.
Nice.
I that's what I do, is I love to cook.
That's a new hobby of yours now, huh?
Well, I cooked for homeless people when I had the zoo, every Thanksgiving and every Christmas. And then I had, 2 restaurants. I had the pizza restaurant at the zoo and the burger barn. And then I had the restaurant up the road.
Very nice.
Nice, yes.
Joe, I heard a rumor that you've actually never even seen the series The Tiger King.
I have not. Don't think I want to.
Yeah.
It's just going to piss me off.
I bet.
What, even though you haven't seen it, I mean, you have a general idea of what maybe the audience seen. And what do you think? Why do you think it was so appealing to people?
Well, I hear good things and I hear bad things. First of all, everybody always says, Joe, you got us through the lockdown, the COVID. You got us through COVID. Everybody has to remember, Joe is a real person, and his life got destroyed for all this. And I'm in prison. I'm not just a fictional TV character that was made to look stupid on TV. But, I did not film for Tiger King. I was in jail 2 years before Tiger King was filmed.
No kidding.
Yes, everything that you saw of me was filmed by my crew at the zoo for my TV show. That I had that internet show, Joe Exotic TV, and everything was filmed for that. And then Dylan, my husband at the time, when Carole and James and Jeff and Alan and everybody got me set up for this bullshit in order to take my zoo, my husband at the time, Dylan, sold the producers of Netflix my computers and my hard drives, and that's how they got that footage. And then turned around and sold my clothes all to a museum in Vegas. And then run off with $2.6 million.
Holy cow.
And left me in prison. So I did not film for Netflix, and Netflix made me out to be a meth head, which is a bullshit lie. Made me out to be an animal abuser, which is a bullshit lie. Did I shoot 5 tigers? Yeah, I euthanized 5 tigers. I did it for 23 years. Nobody had a problem with it. until they needed to put me in jail for the Big Cat Safety Act. So I consider myself a political prisoner. I had the United States Department of Agriculture inspectors with the Animal Welfare Act tell me how to euthanize those tigers. And then I had some chicken shit game warden working for Carole Baskin arrested me for not killing them, for taking them without a permit.
Well, regardless, we're always in your corner, Joe. We got you.
I hope, man. I've done a shit ton of interviews today, and I've done a shit ton of interviews since I've been here in Florida. And I just pray to God that the people of America and the people of the world wake up this election, man, because this election's dangerous, man. You know, what they're doing to Donald Trump proves to you that, and what they did to me, this is real life. This could happen to any one of you people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is that part of your message now that you want to get out there to the people?
You know, that's the whole reason I'm running for office right now is I have a platform, and my policies on joeexotic2024.com spell it out. Prison and justice reform has got to be one of our main subjects in this country, because our government is kidnapping people, black, brown, and poor white people that can't afford lawyers and to fight. Because what they'll do is they'll arrest you for conspiracy, which is just hearsay, okay? And then they'll get you, and they'll stress you out, and they'll say, look, you're either going to plead to 5 years, or you're going to plead to 10 years, or if you take this trial, we're going to get you for 30 years. And they do exactly what they did to me, and that is I started with only one charge, guys, and then as soon as I asked for a trial, they superseded me with 20 more charges. So that way, something will stick. And if you don't think 91 felony indictments with Donald Trump is not a plan, they're going to throw 91 felonies against the wall, and 5 of them are going to stick.
Mm-hmm. Right.
As bad as everybody wants him to win presidency, they're going to screw him over.
Yeah.
Joe, what's your campaign slogan? I know you're running 2024.
What is my what?
Your campaign slogan.
My campaign slogan? Fuck their rules, write me in.
You got my vote.
I love it.
It started out to be vote for Joe Exotic. What do you have to lose? Okay, and then the Democrats figured out how to keep me off the ballot. So I changed to unaffiliated, and I changed my slogan to "Fuck their rules, write me in."
That's also the title of the next song, huh?
Coming through this, if I make it out of here alive, I got a few new song titles I'm going to come up with.
Yeah. Do you do any?
Oh yeah.
Do you do any writing there? Do you do any writing? Or
2 years and 8 months of solitary confinement and 6 years of prison. My head is so fucked up I can't even concentrate in here. But do I have some ideas? Yeah, and and I'm working with Matt Combs, Hillary Duff's husband, and Who Kid, and I just got off of a big interview that they were doing with Drake and a bunch of other people. I think when I get out of here, I'm gonna have more than enough help coming up with some lyrics. Yeah,
it sounds like it. Sounds like it. We're looking forward to that.
But right now, the big thing is I got to get everybody out in the world to speak up, because politicians are scared of numbers, and we have to get our numbers up there. And I ask everybody, it don't matter if it's Trump's post or Biden's post, put "Free Joe Exotic" in the comments, because that tells every one of them that there's another voter that thinks this is wrong.
Who runs your social media? Like even trying to schedule this visit here, do you have access to that, or somebody else doing it for you?
I have a social media team that is doing that currently right now. Now, when I'm in federal prison, the guards sell cell phones and the guards sell the drugs and all that shit. So when I'm back in Texas, you never know when it's me and when it's not.
But right now it's not, right?
Right now it's not. But next month it might be me.
Oh, we'll be looking forward to those comments then next month.
Yeah, sometimes if there's like a "go fuck yourself," that's probably me.
Yeah. We know it's you. Hey, is there any way we can put money on your books to help you with those meals, maybe?
Hey, you know what? I was just going to put a post up tonight or tomorrow for people not to put any more money on my books. Don't buy me anything because my court date is the 23rd, which is Tuesday. And I don't know if they're going to ship me back the next day or if they're going to ship me back in 2 weeks. But either way, I have what I need. I appreciate everybody's help. I just don't want your money being wasted and on these people's accounts here that I can't use in federal court or federal prison. So, no, I'm good. What I need is a voice. I don't need anybody's money right now. I need a voice. And I need some lawyers with some balls that actually want to work for me instead of themselves. I've made so many lawyers famous and rich, and they've done nothing for me, you know. That's what I need the most. I need a lawyer with some balls that wants to sit down with me and go over the evidence and listen to my story. Because as of today, no lawyer has ever sat down face to face with me with all of the evidence and said, Joe, explain what happened. They've all looked at Tiger King and they've come up with their own scenario, and I hate it.
Yeah, that's definitely got to be hard to have that out there and that be really the first impression that people get about you.
Oh, it is, you know, and the bad thing is, you know, the federal government arrested me, charged me, and tried me, and not one FBI agent or one U.S. attorney prosecutor ever asked me a question of what my side of the story was. So that tells you that it wasn't about justice or finding the truth. They had an agenda before they even arrested me. Because how do you, if your neighbor shoots 4 people, they're going to interview him, and they're going to want to know why, right?
That's true. Yep.
Not one person has ever asked me anything on the government side. Not one. I've never seen anybody.
That's pretty.
They held me without bond, and they locked me in solitary confinement, and they tried me and convicted me.
Wow.
Do you spend most of your time working on your case still?
I spend most of my time, believe it or not, answering fan letters because I still get 200 a week fan letters.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
When I first got arrested, they brought it to me in Walmart bags. It's pretty crazy. But, you know, out of every letter that I've received, and I've answered every one of them because my supporters mean everything to me. I've gotten letters from all over the world, Iceland, Bulgaria, Belgium, the United Kingdom, Australia, everywhere. And the big thing is I just want a voice. I need a voice, and I appreciate all of my supporters all over the world. It's amazing. I just wish I was out there to see how famous I am. You know, everybody says you're like Michael Jackson famous. I'm like, you know,
you definitely are.
I would like to just see that before I die. You know, I've fought prostate cancer. Now they're saying that I more than likely have lung cancer. I've been through X-rays and CAT scans and PET scans, and now I got to go back and face biopsies. And will I make it 11 more years? No, I'm not.
Yeah,
I signed a DNR. I'm out. If I can't get the government to admit they're wrong, or at least let me go home and keep their conviction and say, look, time served, go home and go on your merry way. I'm not doing 11 more years like this. I'll let cancer take me.
Is it your supporters on the outside? Is that what keeps you motivated?
It is. My fans is what has kept me from swinging from the fire pipe, you know? And Seth, I have to give Seth so much credit because, you know, as young as he is, we've been together 3 years, and he has been at that phone every time I call, no matter what. And he works all night long, from 5 o'clock at night till 7 o'clock in the morning. And he raises a 4-year-old kid, you know, and he got me through cancer.
Yeah, I've known people that have been behind those walls, and they say that is the motivating factor, to know that you're not forgotten and always have that support.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, people out in the world that have cancer, you know, it's the end of the world, you know, but they have their family. They're in their own bed, you know, they're out in the world. I fought cancer in a 6 by 12 foot concrete room by myself with no TV, no radio, a toilet and a sink to puke in, and I did that for a year, and I'm not doing it again.
Oh, that's rough.
Awful.
Right.
Yeah. People don't really think about it like that till you say it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, my parents have both died since I've been in here. I didn't get to say goodbye to my own parents. My brother and my niece helped set me up to put me in here because they were jealous of that zoo. And speaking of that, if you look at YouTube, Joe Exotic's old zoo on YouTube, and you see what they did to my house, they took my doors off of my house and let horses live in my house. And that zoo is a ghost town now.
Oh, boy.
And it wasn't about helping tigers or stopping Joe from breeding. It was about destroying Joe, okay? If they wanted to care about tigers, Jesus Christ, after Netflix came out, that zoo would have been the most world famous zoo on the planet. And they could have made millions and millions of dollars. All they had to do was stop breeding if that was the issue. But instead, they moved all the animals off, they destroyed it, and it sits as a ghost town today. It wasn't about animals.
Yeah.
It was about destroying me.
Yeah, and I've heard you on some interviews saying that you wish you would have maybe done things a little bit differently, and being in prison, it's kind of almost likened it to a tiger in a cage as well.
Hey, I just talked to Who Kid for an hour today, and I told him the same thing. If I make it out of here, I'm going to advocate against any zoo. I don't care who you are, how much money you spend on it. I know how it feels like to be ripped away from your family and put in a cage now. And the AZA, who owns and accredits every big city zoo, gets all their animals from the wild and puts them in cages. And I'm going to advocate to stop that, okay? We just don't need to do that. We just don't, especially primates, because my primates that I had are so human. I took as good a care as I could have with them, but did I take enough care now that I see where they were living? Absolutely not.
And that's something you regret, it sounds like?
Well, I mean, I didn't know any better. I thought I was doing as good as I could, until you're in their place. If I had a zoo to do all over again, I would make it mandatory for my staff to sit in that cage before they started their first day of work for exactly 12 hours and see how bored they got.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And we're in the southeast Missouri area, but know that you actually had kind of come through here a few times, maybe down in St. John and even like down in the Branson area.
Yeah.
Some of the zoos down there. I don't know if you remember making those trips or not.
I did. I did a show at Hot Springs, and I've been to Branson. I know Kirby Van Birch. I know them all. I know everybody that's in the circus world, and I've advocated all along. You can't get a tiger. That's why none of my tigers did tricks. I walked in a cage, and all of my tigers loved on me because they didn't have to do tricks. And the only way you're going to get a tiger to walk a plank is to make that tiger scared of you. And there's only one way to do that, and that's to abuse it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Say we have a magic wand, Joe, when you walk out of prison tomorrow. What's the first couple things that you do?
Okay, I'm going to go to 7-Eleven and get a pack of Marlboro Lights.
Same.
Fuck that lung cancer, huh?
Fuck that lung cancer, right?
Want a real cigarette, damn it.
Then I'm going to drive to Fort Smith, Arkansas, lock myself in the house with Seth for 2 days and have nothing but sex, okay?
Now we're partying.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if I could blame you there, buddy. I don't know if I can blame you there either.
Then I've been offered a world tour for a concert.
Yeah.
And my first concert in America is going to be free as a thank you concert for all of my supporters. Okay, we're going to party our ass off.
Yes.
Then my goal is to testify in front of Congress about what really goes on in here, because I have the evidence. Yep. They caught me with a cell phone last year. I had a cell phone for 2 years in there, and I have the evidence to take to Congress and show them the mold, the algae, the expired food, the staff stealing everything, and the leaking roofs and everything. Yeah, and they're probably not going to be shocked. I'm sure they know what's going on. They're the ones who are running this, But I'm going to expose it.
Yeah, as it should be.
To the people.
Yep. I've also heard that when people get out, the first thing they want to do is take a shit with the door closed. Is that on your list as well?
Hey, you know what? Look, I don't know if it's just television or maybe the federal system is different than the state prison system. But, in feds, everything's private. You have private stalls, private showers, everything. Yeah, you don't have any community showering. You don't have any community toilets. Everything is private. Very private.
If I go to prison, I want to go federal then for sure, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, even like the county jail here, there's doors on the stalls and the shower is private. The bullshit about dropping the soap in prison, man, I've thrown my whole shampoo bottle on the ground. Nobody come running. Somebody's been lying to me my whole life.
You're like, I've dropped this thing for 2 damn weeks and nobody's came in here.
Fucking hey, man. and another thing about prison is all of them good-looking guys that are built on television, that's bullshit too, because they're all fat from eating commissary junk food.
How do you spend your time in the rec yard?
Huh?
How do you spend your time outside?
Okay, well, when you're in a jail like I'm in now, there is no outside.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, you're locked in all the time.
You're just in one pod.
Yeah, for my first 2 years and 8 months in solitary, I never got out of that room.
Jeez.
Wow.
My other year in cancer in Butner, I never got out of that room.
Dang.
Okay, but the prison that I'm at in Fort Worth right now, I get to go to rec from 7 in the morning until 8 at night. I am outside playing horseshoes, working out, walking the track, playing pool, bocce ball, everything. Yeah.
So there's at least one hot guy walking around the prison then, right?
Hey.
Well, they're still kind of overweight. Carole keeps saying, "Oh, I finally got him in a cage." Well, you got me in. Okay, Fort Worth. There's no doors. Okay, it's like an open campus dorm with 1,400 dudes. So it's kind of like a smorgasbord, really. But
Have you had any contact at all with Carole since you've been in?
no.
No? That's probably for the best, huh?
Yeah.
None. Hell, my own brothers and sisters have not even wrote a letter or checked to see if I'm alive.
Wow.
Man.
Well, like I said, we're all here for you and in your corner, buddy.
Hey, you know what? And I respect that. I respect all the strangers more than I do my own family. Mm-hmm. My own family is so dysfunctional that they're so jealous of my mom and dad were spending their money on building that zoo because it was in memory of my brother, and they got to talk to other people that lost their kids, and that was their therapy. They were there every day, all right? And my brothers and sisters were so jealous and so hateful of that they wouldn't even call them mom and dad. They called them Francis and Shirley.
Oh, goodness.
Wow.
Yeah. And then at the end, they got my power of attorney away from me when I went to jail, and they got the power of attorney, so they took them out of their home after being married 70 years and put them in separate nursing homes so they didn't know what was going on, and they took their house and their land away from them, and they signed the zoo over to Carole. That's how Carole got the zoo.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's awful.
That is rough.
Yeah, the feds didn't take anything from me. Yeah, my family signed it all over to Carole.
Wow.
Well, we're your family now, buddy. We got you.
I know, and I appreciate it. I love every one of you.
Yep. Same. Back at you.
I mean, for sure, chosen family often is better than the one you come with, so.
Oh, heck, absolutely. Absolutely. Seth's mom treats me just like her son, and so does his dad. And his brothers and sisters are my family. I can't wait. I pray to God that the day is I get to go home and I get to help raise, Cameron and be a family.
Right.
I know you said you haven't seen the series, but I'm sure you've seen pictures of Halloween costumes.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Is there any of them that kind of stick out as some of the ones that you got the most kick out of?
The funniest one was Sylvester Stallone. His whole family dressed up, and as bad as I hate to say it, he was a perfect Jeff Lowe. But yeah, the people send me Halloween pictures all the time, still this year, and that's what, 4 years later.
Yeah.
It's crazy how I'm still there, but I've worked my ass off to stay in the spotlight so I can maybe get home one day. But the one that probably I hate the worst is the show that Kate McKinnon did, Joe versus Carole, that she did on Peacock.
Okay, I didn't see that.
Oh, hell, that made me look. If I could find a lawyer, I'd sue her ass off. Because she had ARs in the courtroom and made it look like I went through the zoo and shot every animal. And then she had John Cameron as the Joe Exotic, who was the other producer. And they made a mockery out of Travis dying and everything. Yeah, if I had the resources right now, I'd be suing both of them.
So, Joe, I had one question for you. So, we're big mental health advocates around here, and I would just like to know, what advice would you give somebody in or out of prison in general who may be going through a mental health crisis?
Hey, you know what? And I get letters, honest to God, from 6-year-old little kids all the way up to 90-year-old people. And I tell the other inmates, I'm like, damn, am I a therapist or what? Because they write me of how depressed they are and how hard it is out in the world. And I'm like, you ought to be in jail. Yeah. But I answer every letter, and I end every letter with, be who you are, love who you are, be proud of what you've accomplished, and fuck the rest.
Wise words.
Perfect.
Wise words.
There's the slogan.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's what's got me through everything. Because, if you read my book and you know my true story, when I was a police chief, I got a call one day to go to my mom and dad's, which was 40 miles away. So I haul ass going to mom and dad's, and I get there and I open the door to the house, and my dad is sitting there screaming so loud the spit's hitting me in the face.
Oh, man.
Okay, and my mom is standing behind him crying because my brother outed me of being gay, and this was back in 82 or 85. And it made me feel so bad that on my way back to town, I drove my police car into a bridge.
Oh, man.
And that's what ended my police career, and then I spent 5 years in braces after that from breaking my back. And I learned in therapy through all of that to say, fuck you if you don't like me.
Yeah.
And that's my best advice to anybody that has any kind of mental issues, especially in today's world, because it's all about how many likes you get on social media or how you are dressed or how you look, whether you're pretty or you're fat or you're ugly or whatever. You know what? Love you, be you, do you, and fuck everybody else.
Exactly.
Amen. Preach. Amen. Slow clap.
Absolutely, yes.
Yep.
Definitely.
And this is why I always follow and support you.
The LGBTQ community don't really appreciate me a whole lot because I came out in the 80s when it was really, really hard. Mm-hmm. They have it super easy today, okay? And I think they're pushing this transgender issue way too hard. They're shoving it in everybody's face. If you want to be a transgender, go be a transgender and do your own self. But don't make your neighbor have to like it. And you'll see that they'll accept you a whole lot more.
That is an interesting perspective.
Yeah, because, I'm a gay man. I've been gay my whole life. And if you got a bigger dick print in your pants and you got boobs, it's creepy. It's just creepy. If you look like a woman and you got boobs and you got a bigger dick print in your pants than I have, it's just creepy. Learn to tuck or wear baggy pants.
Learn to tuck. That's the advice. Learn to tuck.
Hey, Joe, it says...
Guys, this is fiction to shut off. Yeah. Get on joeexoticofficial.com, look at the evidence link, spread it around, put free Joe Exotic in every comment you can. I love all of you, everybody around the world, okay?
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Yes, love you. Keep your head up. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Tell all the hunters to lay down their guns. Tell them that the tiger needs a little bit of love. Let them run the jungle, let them roam their land. Then stand back and marvel, what a beautiful cat. 'Cause I saw a tiger, now I understand. Well, I saw a tiger, and the tiger saw a man. I can give him a home, safe and warm, but the law wants to ban me. Can you tell me who's wrong? Every time they move, every time